Good afternoon and welcome to Fight Club Rush 10. These are the official YouTube prelims. 3, of course, on the internet. My name is Sebastian Vettel Martinez, joined as always by my partner in crime, Mr. Carl Michael Anderson. And we are kicking off the very first bout.
Yes, and in comes Dimitriadis, making his second fight here at FCR. He came away with the win last time. I remember he got a last-minute opponent change.
That's right.
And,
he faced Baysangor Makaev, a training partner of Khamzat Chimaev. And, you know, that is no easy name to be thrown last minute. A lot of fighters probably would have said no. Dimitriadis, like a true Greek Spartan, he was up for the challenge and he came out successful.
Yes, and I remember we didn't even have a picture of his opponent. We didn't know anything about him. Record, age, what he even looked like at that time. And Dimitris didn't care. He said, I mean, as long as he weighs 70 kilos by this morning, I'm fine. I can fight anyone. And he is excited. He has been training his butt off for this. And he treats this as a professional fight, even though it's an amateur.
Absolutely, yes. That is a very good point. This is the first and only amateur bout of the evening. And Carl, as the resident sort of technical expert, why don't you go ahead and explain for our viewers the difference between amateur MMA and pro MMA?
Yes, Sebastian. So the only difference here is the round is going to be 3 minutes, and what you cannot knee your opponent in the head. But other than that, it is quite similar. Because even if you're an early professional, elbows are not allowed because they don't do unified rules that often for the early fights when the fighters are 0-0, 1-0. So this, the difference isn't that big. And Anton Hellstrom coming in here, I mean, he has like 50 boxing fights.
Yeah, absolutely.
He would be one of those guys who would, if this opportunity didn't arise, be one of those fighters who would just go directly to the pros and skip the amateurs. But since we have such an extensive amateur scene in Sweden, why not try? Because this is his MMA debut here.
Well, we'll welcome it with open arms here at Fight Club Rush. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape. Both men, 25 years old. Quite a height advantage resides with Anton Hellstrom. And, of course, a 1-1 amateur record for Dimitriadis, whereas this is the debut for Hellstrom. And with that said, let's hand it over to our beloved announcer, Mr. Ricky Wright.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we join viewers from around the world live on YouTube, this is Fight Club Rush 10. From the beautiful city of Västerås, Sweden! Ladies and gentlemen, Fight Club Rush present 3 3-minute rounds in the amateur lightweight division. Introducing first in the blue corner with a record of 1 win and 1 defeat. Weighing in at 70.3 kilograms. From Sweden by way of Greece, Dimitris Hateman Dimitriadis! And his opponent in the red corner tonight, he makes his debut, weighing in at 70.3 kilograms. Also from Sweden, Anton Hellstrom! Your referee in charge of the action, Daniel Eklund.
Daniel Eklund in charge of the action of the very first fight of the night. And interesting, Dimitrius Hitman Dimitriadis. I didn't know that must be a new addition.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Whereas on the other end, I've heard Anton Hellstrom being called Hellraiser. So Anton Hellraiser Hellstrom. And I gotta say, I like that, not just because I'm a big fan of the Hellraiser series. And there we go.
Dimitri springs out.
Oh, wow. Jumping front kick for the boxer. And as mentioned before, Anton Hellstrom is as heralded as they come when it comes to boxing here in Sweden. He's a 2-time boxing champion, and he has between 55 and 60 fights underneath his belt. Nice knees in the clinch there.
Yep. Dimitri's immediately starting investing in those leg kicks. You can see he's moving, feinting. I like these level changes, even though he hasn't shot yet. I know that Anton Hellstrom's coaches was expecting him to shoot quite early, and Anton as well.
Well, I mean, if you are facing a two-time national boxing champion, it would be wise to perhaps at least threaten the takedown. You know, get your opponent to think about it. Oh, that was a nice little exchange there, both. And a good kick to the body there for Dimitriadis.
Dimitri's being slightly undisciplined in close range, coming in with his head on a straight line.
I thought so too, but he was perhaps. Oh, that was a nice right hand connected there. Oh, that
low
was
knee there
unfortunate.
from both, I think. I think they both connected. Yep, and that's the delay effect right there for Dimitriadis. I think that one was not a good one.
I mean, that always is the risk when you go for knees in the clinch. It's, you know, of course, never intentional, but every now and then you just might miscalculate where your knee is going, or perhaps your opponent shifts position. And yeah, it is an unfortunate part of the sport that is really kind of unavoidable. I mean, so long as people have crotches, they will get accidentally struck. It's just the way it is.
Yep, and Dimitriadis will have up to 5 minutes here, so he can take his time to recover, and there's no need to rush here.
Yeah, absolutely not. And as mentioned, Hellstrom making the move from boxing to MMA. He's been training MMA for about 2 years.
I think Dimitriadis' cup here is broken. Oh, the cup is broken.
Oh.
I've never heard that in my life. I've never seen that before. I mean, that knee must have been insanely hard.
Yeah, I've never heard of that before either, where a cup breaks from a strike. I mean,
I wonder, what do you do here? I mean, do you use these 5 minutes to go get another cup? I mean, he can't go on with a broken cup, and
Yeah,
he can't go on
exactly.
without a cup.
I mean, we've got to do that. We've got to find a replacement cup.
So as we watch the replay here, they're in the clinch, knees landing on the stomach. At first, yeah, that was the first clinch exchange.
I think this is where we became. Oh, just missed it.
Okay, so as we're waiting to find out if we can get another cup for Dimitriadis.
And they are scrambling to try and find. All right, it seems like we have found a replacement cup. It will be delivered shortly. Or are they continuing? I'm not quite sure what the solution is as of now.
Okay, from the look of it, I think Dimitriadis needs to get his head back in the game right now, because he looked a bit confused, and we were all confused, but now the fight goes on. Hard leg kick from Dimitriadis. We can see Hellstrom already switching stances, but he has been switching quite a bit. Dimitriadis in on the single leg. Good guillotine counter there.
Oh, that was a nice shot there. Caught Dimitriadis as he was sort of heading in there.
Beautiful 1-2 there by Hellstrom.
And one thing that I noticed from Hellstrom's boxing was that he loved these sort of switching stance and throwing short uppercuts in the clinch while boxing. He has some fantastic uppercuts. He's dropped quite a few opponents with uppercuts to the body. Will we see the first takedown of the night? Oh, ever so close.
Yep. Dimitriadis needs to get his head around the whizzer. All right, now Anton is in a better position to defend. Very disciplined with the wizard, yep. Dimitriadis gets him down briefly. He needs to use his head here and put his forehead under the chin of Hellstrom, but does Anton get... All right. Dimitriadis needs to, needs to watch out for the triangle there.
How crazy would it be if a boxer got a submission off of his back in his very first MMA bout?
There's a lot of things happening here on the ground. Dimitriadis now on his back, landing hard shots. And that's the first round.
Well, it was an eventful round, to say the least. Had a little bit of everything, and tough round to score.
Yes.
I mean, CM, I don't know how you have it scored.
I mean, Hellstrom landed, I would say he outlanded him effectively with those crisp 1-2s. Dimitriadis had to wake up a little bit in the beginning. I mean, Hellstrom has been very active in boxing.
Yeah.
It was not that long ago that he competed, and I know Dimitriadis hasn't competed in a while. So maybe Dimitriadis needed that first round to get going, and after that cup incident, we could see he started to implement his wrestling.
Yeah.
But on the ground, it was back and forth until the last few seconds. So that's a great question, Sebastian. I don't know.
Well, I'm glad we don't have that task, and we can just pretty much react to it. Oh,
yeah, there was the replay of the knee.
Every man watching this right all across the world just sort of flinched up seeing that replay. And it was August 2020 was the last time that Dimitriadis competed. It was a submission loss to the rising star Martin Corney, who has been linked to bouts here in FCR, just hasn't really materialized.
Yeah, but Dimitriadis is still an amateur, but he has been taking these quite big amateur spots. You know, FCR, Brave, and now FCR again, and not fighting as much on the local, you know, Swedish MMA league fights where Martin Corney has been staying very active.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. He really likes these big tests. I mean, a lot of the martial arts community, they're well aware of Anton Hellstrom, and I'm sure there's not a huge line of people wanting to face him.
All right, we have some issues with the shin guard.
And that is the risk with them. You know, they will get turned around a little bit. Oh, that was a nice shot there from Hellstrom. Yep. Some bruising on the right side of the face of Dimitriadis. Some clear evidence of good strikes there from Hellstrom.
You see, they end up in the clinch a lot, but I can see, I mean, Hellstrom, the boxer, he is used to the clinch, even though you often get broken up by the referee. He likes to do a lot of his work here. You can see that.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, both boxing and MMA, he's having a lot of success in the clinch. Oh, he went for a hip toss, but didn't quite get it.
That's the risk. He has to get that grip out. Yep.
And it looked for a moment like Hellstrom was almost going for like a standing rear naked choke type of position. I am loving these knees.
Yeah, and they are paying dividends right now. I can see that in Dimitriadis' face. These knees, and this body work is right now, like the investment is paying off right now.
Absolutely. I mean, it just zaps your injury, especially in these later rounds.
But Dimitriadis is not out of this, not at all.
He's a warrior.
Now that was a knee to the head, unfortunately.
Oh, that is unfortunate.
And did he bust up his eyebrow?
I think we'd have to take a look at the replay. I would hate to see it being the result of an illegal strike that opened up that cut. Let's take a look here. Well,
yeah.
It was a glancing strike, and I mean, it definitely was unintentional. He was trying to get him while they were exiting the clinch position. So, however, I won't be surprised if we see a point taken away. I mean, even if it was unintentional.
That's the thing. You are responsible for your own weapons, and you could say it depends on how you look at it. Dimitriadis was having his head there. It was very quick off the exchange, off the break. So I'm not sure if they take a point. I mean, they can also look at the effect. And now, right now, the referee is talking to Dimitriadis and assessing like how much damage did that knee cause, and do we take a point because of that?
Yeah.
Oh, they just stopped the fight.
Oh no.
That's the fight.
That is a shame. Fight stopped due to an illegal strike. That is a real shame. I'm sure that's not how Hellstrom wanted this to go.
No, and I'm unsure of what is the result going to be. Is it a DQ win? Is it a no contest? Yeah, there's a lot of discussions going on here, folks, and it's hard for us to keep up with everything, but we try to keep you guys in the loop.
We're doing our best. It's been a kind of crazy fight in many aspects, that's for sure.
Yep.
And the question is if it's going to be a DQ or a no contest.
By the look of Anton Hellstrom's face, it might be a DQ.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Daniel Eklund calls off the contest at 1 minute and 34 seconds of round number 2. At the advice of the doctor, for your winner by disqualification, in the blue corner, Dimitriadis, ape-man Dimitriadis.
Yep, and as we expected, the winner is Dimitriadis.
Obviously not the way you wanted to get the win. Neither of you wanted it to end this way. What are your thoughts and feelings spontaneously after the crazy fight that just happened?
It's sad that it had to end like this. We did a very good fight, round 2. I got one knee to my junk right here. My susp got like broken. It's bent inwards, and then a knee to the eye, and the doctor stopped it. So I don't know. Both of us did a good 2 rounds, but I don't know, yeah, not the way I thought this would end.
Well, it was a great fight as long as it lasted. I'm sure maybe the fans thought so as well. What about running this one back? What about a rematch so that it doesn't have to end this way?
Yeah, sure, we'll be fine. It's a very good debut by Anton, all respect to him. And yeah, thanks for everyone coming, my coaches who put down the time to us, my family, my fiance. Thank you to everyone who's here. And thank you to Anton for this fight. Thank you.
All right, it was a great fight from both competitors.
Also to Zlatko and FCR for doing a great job. Thank you. Thank you.
Always hats off to FCR. Anton, what can you tell us? What's on your mind after what just happened?
This is fucked up, man. I mean, the first knee was really low, and I apologize for that, but the second knee, I think it was to the body, and he dipped into it, but it is what it is. I just want to thank everyone who came out to support. Tack alla från Gävle. Shoutout allihopa. Jag vet inte, det var inte så här jag ville att det skulle sluta, men fuck it. Dimitris, tuff också.
Are you down for a rematch?
Of course, man. Next Fight Club Rush. Of course we got the rematch. Of course. And I always want to thank everyone who came out to support. I'm sorry for the ending, but I don't know. Shit happens, and fuck it. Next time. Thanks, everyone. Zlatko, thank you.
All right, let's hear it for both competitors, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, and the end comes the winner by disqualification. As you heard, not the way that either of these fighters wanted it to end, but it happens. Luckily, no one is injured, and we could maybe run it back for the next FCR.
I would be down to see that. Unfortunately, due to illness. And what is that I hear? Is it the commencement of an annual purge? Could that be the case, CM?
I think so.
This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast announcing the commencement of the annual purge sanctioned by the Swedish government. Weapons of class 4 and lower have been authorized for use during the purge. All other weapons are restricted. No one in this arena has been granted immunity and may be harmed. Commencing at the siren, any and all crime including murder will be legal for 12 continuous hours. Police, fire and emergency medical services will be unavailable until tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. when the purge concludes. If you are not prepared, you will not survive.
How about that bass?
How about that bass? I can feel it in my legs. Tobias Wallberg, 31 years old. He felt like I did not want to waste any more time. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Making his professional debut here tonight. He is excited and he's getting those black eyes. I've talked to Tobias quite a bit about this. He is calm as a cucumber the whole day. I've been with him earlier today. He's been so calm as can be. He said, I was nervous about 2 weeks ago. Now it's just the fun part left. I've been training. I've been in camp. I was supposed to fight at lightweight. I mean, Tobias was supposed to fight at lightweight at first, and with the late opponent change, they bumped it up to a welterweight, and he said, okay, I don't mind. I've been training for years now. I mean, let me just come in and show my skills. He does not have the most extensive amateur record, but he feels like, hey, there's not that big of a difference anyway. There's 2 more minutes each round, but I get this platform. I get to show all my skills. I get to do the knees to the head because Tobias is very tall.
Yeah.
And he does not underestimate his opponent. When Habal pulled out, he was getting a few options. And he said, hey, Theodor is the one with the least experience, but I have all the respect in the world for him. He's young, he's hungry, and he is coming to win.
Yeah, and Theodor Bergen, I mean, he might not be the most experienced amateur we have, but he has fought some tough fighters, both inside the FCR cage and outside of it as well. As you mentioned, he did come up short in a decision loss to Ramas Tromanis, but he has a lot of impressive wins. We did see him actually here in FCR defeat Khalid Kurchiev in a very, very dominant performance where he was so close to getting a finish. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape here.
We can see the age difference immediately. There's a 10-year age difference, a bit of a height difference as well.
Live from Västerås, exclusive on YouTube, Fight Club Rush presents 3 5-minute rounds in the welterweight division. Introducing first in the blue corner, Tonight he makes his debut, weighing in at 77.5 kilograms, representing Sweden, Theodor Bergman. And his opponent in the red corner tonight, he also makes his debut, weighing in at 76.6 kilograms, also representing Sweden, Tobias Prince Jalil Valpan. Your referee in charge of the action, Mr. Daniel Eklund.
Daniel Eklund back on duty here. And another new nickname I always thought of Tobias Valberg as being called the Prodigy.
Yep, from his gaming days.
Yeah.
But it's actually a tribute to
BJ Penn, right?
BJ Penn, yes.
Yeah.
And they touch gloves and we're underway.
Oh, some
immediately
good quick strikes there from Theodor.
Theodor is not wasting any time, landed a beautiful head kick there.
Oh, wow, and straight to the takedown.
Some adversity immediately for Tobias Valberg.
And these northern guys, they like their ground and pound. We know that.
Yes.
Oh, good knees there as well.
Yeah, I think Tobias has to weather the storm here because Theodor took this fight on short notice and he's very, very explosive. And of course, he's going to bring it in the first few minutes. Let's see if Tobias can weather this. Because right now, Theodor is looking in control.
Oh, that was a hard strike.
Yeah, that was hard.
Oh,
He
wow,
lets him up. Interesting.
I think Valberg, he's got to get some offense going. He's a little too passive. He might be rocked.
Yeah, he is rocked. He is rocked right now.
Oh, he goes down. Heavy strikes here from Theodor Bergen.
Yeah, this might be it. Yeah, that's it.
That is it. What a pro debut. Theodor Bergen, remember the name.
Yeah, he came in like a freight train. He was not going to get denied. He was not going to get stopped tonight. That was quite the statement.
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
barely broke the
look
sweat.
at that swag. I mean, let's take a look at that action. I mean, he just never let his opponent off the hook.
Yeah. Oh, those combinations, that finishing move was...
Oh, he's going to make it hard for the people cleaning the cage.
Yeah. Look at how he picks his shots here. Feint, that body shot.
That was fantastic.
Yeah, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. And Tobias will come back stronger, but of course he's going to be disappointed now.
Absolutely. He has the heart of a warrior, and he just didn't get a chance to prove it.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Daniel Eklund calls to stop the contest at 1 minute and 13 seconds of round number 1. For your winner by TKO, Theodor Bergen!
All right, I'm here for winner Theodor Bergen. You took this fight on short notice, but you wasted no time. You put it on him from start to finish, and it was a short finish, 1.5 minutes. Was that how you visualized this fight?
I was going in this fight having a 3-round war. We don't get tired. But I want that fucking bonus!
That
bonus! What was that? 1.5 minutes?
Yeah, 1.5 minutes, 1:36.
Yeah, jag vill tacka mina coacher, Fernando Flores, Anton Larsson. De har verkligen ställt upp och gjort allt. Jag vill tacka min familj som sitter där uppe. Jag älskar er. Fortfarande snygg, inga cuts.
That's right, no cuts, no damage. When do you think we can see you back here? I heard some of the FCR people already talking about potential matches for you.
I don't give a fuck, we're ready all the time.
Spoken like a true northerner, up there in the cold, hard-hitting. Do you have any last messages for the fans here who came in to see your fantastic performance?
Yes.
Thank you all guys. Jättekul att det kom så många. Jag har inte fightats på mer än ett år. Och det är grymt att komma tillbaka till publik och få en första rond knockout. Varje slag satt hårt.
That it did. Let's hear for your winner, ladies and gentlemen, Theodor Bergen.
Yep, and what a showing for Theodor Bergen. Couldn't ask for much more than that. What a debut.
It was, I mean, I think the post-fight speech lasted longer than the fight.
Yep. Yeah, you couldn't ask for more. I was just saying, like, when you make your professional debut, that's what you visualize, that's what you hope for.
And
yeah.
I appreciate a quick finish as much as anyone, but it does sort of negate all the research I did. I did not have a chance to speak about any of that. I had some interesting tidbits of information to throw in there, but as Sweden faces Norway.
Yes. And in comes Norway's Ivana Sirich with an extensive amateur background in her bag. She's 1-0 as a pro, but as an amateur, Sebastian, she's been tearing it up, right?
Oh, absolutely. She is actually a double champion in amateur MMA for Cage Warriors Academy Southeast, both the bantamweight and flyweight champ, or amateur champion rather. She's been spending a lot of time at Frontline Academy in Norway, which is the nation's premier MMA gym. And she's been training with the likes of UFC veterans like Pani Kianzad and Yulia Stolarienko. She made her pro debut earlier this year in the 24th of July with a second round TKO over Joanne Doyle. And Joanne Doyle is no scrub. She is really experienced, and that was hardly a gimme fight, but I mean, Sirich just made it look easy. She's a very well-rounded fighter, and anyone who's seen her amateur bouts in Cage Warriors will surely agree. And this has the potential for a stand-up war. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape. 27 Sirich versus 31-year-old Turcado.
Quite the height difference there with 173 centimeters for Ivana Sirich, 5'8", 164 for Aline Turcado. As a striker, I'd say generally you prefer to be the taller fighter. But, I mean, we've seen a lot of fighters...
As we saw just now, I mean, Tobias Wahlberg had a height advantage.
Yep.
Live from Västerås, Sweden, exclusive on YouTube. Fight Club Rush presents 3 5-minute rounds in the flyweight division. Introducing first in the blue corner. Tonight she makes her debut, weighing in at 56.2 kilograms. representing Sweden, Aline Turcado. And her opponent in the red corner with a record of 1 win and no defeats, weighing in at 57.1 kilograms. Fighting out of Norway, Ivana Sirich. Your referee in charge of the action, Ruben Saber.
Ruben the lightsaber in charge of this action here.
Our first of 2 female fights tonight. This one at flyweight.
And as mentioned, Turcado is a very experienced striker. She's competed extensively in both Muay Thai and kickboxing. And I feel like you can kind of see some of that in her step, just the way she moves. Oh, nice little exchange there. It looks like both fighters connected, but I think Sirich might have connected better.
And I'm noticing something interesting here. Turcado is keeping her eyes on Sirich's chest, as Sirich is looking straight into the eyes of Turcado, which is quite interesting as a striker.
Oh, that was a nice
the target.
right hand. But I've been actually my first Muay Thai coach actually told me keep the eyes on the chest. You see the guard, the eyes will fool you. Yeah. Your hands, you'll see the fake or you'll see the strike. And look at this, we have a takedown here from Ivana Sirich. See what she can do from the top. I mean, she is very effective on top. When she won the Cage Warriors title against Chanel Dyer. Again, Chanel Dyer, no scrub. She was being groomed as a possible amateur champion for Cage Warriors. But as soon as Sirich landed in top position, she just pounded her out with relentless strikes in the 3rd round.
You would imagine that on the ground is where Sirich is going to shine here, where the advantage is going to be the biggest. With Turcado only having 1 MMA fight in her back. There you go, full mount.
Wow,
for Ivana Sirich.
This is bad news for Turcado.
Yep. I would like to see, this is easier said than done, but Turcado needs to move. She needs to, yeah, that's over. Yeah, that was a quick one.
Over before it started, and look at Ivana Sirich moving up to 2-0. Impressive.
Made it look easy.
I mean, this is a prospect to keep your eye on because Turcado, she's a very skilled fighter. And as we saw, I mean, Sirich just, she met her standing, took her down, and then just easily passed.
Yep, she managed to pass the guard quite easily. The half guard was open. And when someone is on top in full mount landing strikes, you have to address several problems at the same time. You can see here she needs to cover up because the strikes are coming. But also you need to push off the hips and try to shrimp out. There is space there. I'm not saying it's easy, but
and it could be some of those debuting nerves, perhaps.
Of course. And covering up.
All right, with the official result, let's hear it for Ricky Wright.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Ruben Saber calls stop the contest at 1 minute and 45 seconds of round number 1. For your winner by TKO, Ivana Sirich.
Okay, I'm here with the winner, Ivana Sirich.
Oh, sorry.
No worries. Looks like you were busy to get out of here. You made this look easy. You met her in the stand-up, but did not take 1 step back, took her down, and then pounded her out. Was that what the game plan was?
Yeah, it is. Actually, I'm a good striker too, so I was thinking to strike, but I got a chance to go down, and that's my territory. I'm a really good grappler, so...
Well, I was just talking about it. When you TKO'd Chanel Dyer in Cage Warriors and won the title, you are ruthless from top position, and you don't seem to have a single scratch on you. Are you eager to get back in the cage anytime soon?
Yeah, of course. Just get me a fight. It was really hard to find a fight, and Alina said yes, so huge respect for her too. So, yeah.
Well, we know that she's a gamer. She takes on all comers, and she took you on, but she just didn't have enough. So, looks like you're looking for another fight. Zlatko, make it happen. Do you have a final message for our fans in attendance here tonight?
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone who come from Norway to here to see me tonight. And, yeah, that's it.
All right, well, we're glad to have...
One more thing. I just really need to thank to my coach, Christopher Herum, and his family. fuck cancer. That's all I have to say.
In complete agreement. We'll have you back anytime. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Ivana Sirich.
Yep, and it feels like the first fights have been over for, it's been just 5 minutes. It feels like it's been 5 minutes and it's, the first 3 fights are already over and in comes, Christopher Bayou.
And we could not have asked for a better sort of prelim main event than this. In first, we talked about Tiro Bergen from the far north. Now we've got Christopher Bayou from the far south, my neck of the woods. And if there's one thing us Southerners like, it's a good old-fashioned slugfest. We like it getting in there and getting dirty, and that is something that Christopher Bayou certainly does not back down for. He is an extremely experienced Muay Thai practitioner. He's actually a Swedish national champion in Muay Thai. And he is, as of now, the most active pro fighter in Sweden. He's had, this will be his 5th fight this year, which is statistics that no other Swedish fighter can match right now.
And he mixes it up as well. He goes 1 MMA and then he goes back to Muay Thai and does 1 MMA. Yeah, he's been staying very active, and I know this is a late notice fight for both Christopher Bayou and his opponent Mo Ahmadi. This was originally going to be Oscar Biller versus Alexander Lindgren, but then Alexander Lindgren had to pull out, and Oscar was offered either Christopher Bayou or Mo Ahmadi. He said no. Well then, FCR said, let's just make Bayou versus Ahmadi as our prelim main event at welterweight.
It all just fell into place. Love it when a good plan comes together.
And you got 2 fighters who don't say no either. They just, Mo Ahmadi moving up a weight class, no problem.
Not only that, but 2 finishers as well.
Yes.
These guys, I mean, if they get their ways, then they will definitely not let it go to the judges' scorecard. And welcome back, Mo Ahmadi.
The showman of all showmen.
Those of you who have been following Fight Club Rush will recognize him from main eventing Fight Club Rush 7 last year, and what was the first ever Swedish MMA show since the outbreak of the pandemic. And for my money, the fighter with the most swag points on the entire card.
Yep. Finishing off Elvin Hoxha with a submission at the time. It was like a Mo special, or what we called it, I can't remember.
Yeah.
That was a sneaky one, a reverse inverted omoplata.
Yeah.
He is by far the tallest lightweight fighting in Sweden. Right now stepping up to welterweight, which isn't a problem. He normally walks around 80 kilos. So stepping in here against Christopher Bayou, he still has the height advantage. But what's so interesting with Mo Ahmadi is that he's primarily a grappler.
Yeah.
And his career started off a bit shaky with 2 losses, but right now he's got the momentum on his side and coming in here at 2-2.
Yeah, absolutely. He is a very skilled grappler, and those long arms and legs definitely are an advantage when it comes to that. And you might think that this is a striker versus grappler battle, and you know, it very well may be that way when things all come to it. But there are some interesting factoids that I will drop when the fight starts. First, with tail of the tape, both gentlemen 25 years old, slight height and reach advantage with Mo Ahmadi, and weight is virtually identical. But with the tail of the tape, just about finishing up here, let's hand it over to the Welsh wonder, Mr. Ricky Wright.
Live from Västerås, Sweden, exclusive on YouTube. Fight Club Rush presents 3 5-minute rounds in the welterweight division. Introducing first in the blue corner, with a record of 1 win and 1 defeat, weighing in at 77.3 kilograms. fighting out of Sweden, Christopher Bayou. And his opponent in the red corner with a record of 2 wins and 2 defeats, weighing in at 77.4 kilograms. Also from Sweden, Mo Slimboy Ahmadi. Your referee in charge of the action, Anders Taxi Olsen.
Anders Taxi Olsen in charge of this welterweight action, and as mentioned, Mo Ahmadi definitely a very skilled grappler and submission artist. However, out of all Christopher Bayou's wins, both as an amateur and pro MMA fighter, they've all come via submission. That's right, every single one of them. He started off by arm-barring Mikael Björkheim in 2016 in Helsingborg. And then just a couple months later, he went over to Denmark, old rival nation, and triangled Mattias Appelgren. And he scored his first pro win earlier this year in October with a rear naked choke victory over Abdallah Habib, who we've seen here in Fight Club Rush before.
Yeah, the Thai boxer showing off his grappling chops. Both fighters been very, very active, and you can kind of feel that the nerves aren't really the same in this fight. Yeah. Right now, they're standing, like feeling each other out, taking their time. They've both been in there quite recently.
Oh, nice kick to the body there from Bayou.
Don't like Mo Ahmadi's chin going up in these exchanges. As he throws his jab, the chin is in the air. You need to watch out for that.
And not only has Christopher Bayou had plenty of fights this year, but he took quite a few on short notice as well. After his, oh, look at this.
Yep. With the arm in as well, he shouldn't manage to get a guillotine from here, but oh, here it comes.
That's a Moloch.
Yep, unorthodox.
Oh, but look at that. Bayou recognizes the danger.
Ahmadi attacking a leg here. Oh, that's so beautiful!
Nice
Beautiful work from Ahmadi.
And the trip to boot as well.
It was almost as if he was wearing a gi almost. That was like a De La Hiva reverse sweep. You only see that in BJJ. Full guard here.
And Mo Ahmadi on a 2-fight winning streak. We mentioned the submission victory over Elvin Hosha. He most recently defeated Navid Badi by a first-round rear naked choke in a really just sensational performance from Ahmadi. He just went from submission to submission, kept his cool until he eventually got the tap.
You can see here Bayou thinking about a triangle, but Mo Ahmadi moving his opponent closer to the cage, trying to negate that space. Beautiful right hand.
And a solid strike on the ground there.
And this is what Mo Ahmadi does best. Look how tight he is here. Doesn't waste any time. And he's heavy on top here. This is very, very bad for Christopher Bayou.
Can't quite see the position.
That is in. That looks. I don't know if he's under the chin or not, but
it kind of looked like it was on the chin. But
if you're strong enough, you can just crank it on the chin.
Oh, now
there
it looks to be under.
Yep. That looks to be in, folks.
Oh, but look, he created some space for him.
But he's going to squeeze Bayou's chin here, and you don't want to get your chin squeezed. Beautiful work, Christopher Bayou.
And he could spin here and end up in a much more advantageous position.
Look at the feet of Mo Ahmadi. Look at his foot controlling the calf.
Bayou going for another submission. He might just want to go for some ground and pound.
And this is almost like as if they're trading positions right now. Like, hey, you had a minute on my back. Now it's my turn. Okay, give me a minute here. Let's see what happens.
Going tit for tat, as they say.
Right, with both hooks in.
Eagle-eyed viewers may perhaps have recognized Martin Akhtar in the corner of Christopher Bayou, a real veteran of both MMA and Muay Thai, who's related to Christopher Bayou as well.
This is nasty. Body triangle as well as hard elbows coming from the sides. And that is over. That is it.
That is it. First round TKO for Christopher Bayou. Would you look at that? Sweden's most active fighter continues lining up the victories.
Yeah, those elbows were intense. He managed to create a lot of power from that position.
Yeah, I mean, he is just such a powerful striker. That's why he constantly ends up on the ground. But I mean, it's kind of pick your poison. He can get it done wherever. I mean, as we say, get you a man who can do both.
Yeah.
And ringside of physician checking in on Mo Ahmadi. Let's take a look. Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Oh, wow, wow.
That was a powerful strike. It was that elbow that just, yeah, completely rocked Mo Ahmadi. The official result is residing with Mr. Ricky Wright. Let's hear it from him.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Anders Olsen called stop the contest at 4 minutes and 31 seconds of round number 1. For your winner by TKO, Christopher Bayou!
All right, I'm here for winner Christopher Bayou, the most active fighter in Sweden right now. Malmö, stand up. How are you feeling after a sensational performance?
Oh, I'm feeling amazing. It was back and forth, and he caught my back, and I managed to turn it around for the better. So I'm just happy. I'm just thankful.
And I think most people know that you have an extensive background, Swedish national champion in Muay Thai, but you are just as dangerous on the ground. Were you expecting the fight to end up on the ground like it did?
No, not at all. I expected it to end up on the ground, but not to end in the way it did. But hey, fuck it, we got the win, baby. Hey, say less, fam!
Well, we know that you are deadly on the feet, but an interesting factoid, all of your MMA finishes have ended up on the ground, whether it's TKO or submission. When are we going to get to see one of those spectacular highlight reel knockouts on the feet?
When somebody want to keep it standing with me. I understand my background is Muay Thai, but it would be fun to share the cage with somebody that want to strike, you know.
Well, that might be the issue. I mean, finding somebody who wants to face you. Is there somebody you've got in mind? Because now you've got the perfect opportunity for a call-out.
Yeah, like I said on Käftsmällspodden, I'm not so much for call-outs, but fuck it, any 77-kilo guy can get it there. Say less, fam.
There you have it. Entertaining inside the cage and out. Always a gentleman and always a fantastic fighter. Do you have some final words for us?
Yeah, fuck it. Was a good fight, eh? Let's hear it.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for your winner, Christopher Bayou.
Hey, tack bro, tack. Hey, ha det gott.
Yep, and what a win for Christopher Bayou in the main event of these YouTube prelims. And man, has this been explosive. Not a single fight has gone the distance. I mean, there's going to be quite a bit of competing to do for these bonuses. As my partner joins me here from these interviews, I was just talking about the bonuses, because right now, I mean, there's some stiff competition for performance of the night and finish of the night right now.
That's right. This will be the first ever Swedish event to feature post-fight bonuses And yeah, there's a lot. I guess the fighters are well aware of that. They are not willing to leave it in the hands of the judges.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we have now completed the YouTube portion of the card. At 5:30, we will begin the UFC Fight Pass portion of the card.